Hi, everybody, and welcome to Kung Fu Art, Urban Drawing and Painting, or Urban Sketch. So today is our fourth meeting, and today we're going to be talking about tonal value or contrast, tonal value, black and white, grayscale, and color enhancement in our urban sketching. So contrast refers to the arrangement of opposite elements and effects. So for example, light and dark colors, smooth and rough textures, large and small shapes. Contrast can be used to create variety, visual interest, and drama in an artwork. This particular drawing is very dramatic. That speeding car, we only see part of it because the contrast is so sharp. Whether you're sketching in black and white or color, you'll want your sketches to be rich in contrast and detail. Without it, your sense of depth and volume that is essential to make architecture look solid can be very hard to achieve. So black and white is perfect example of simplifying a scene. So simplify a scene into areas of black and white areas. So you ask yourself the question, what is the light? What is in shadow? By drawing the dark areas first, you'll be suggesting illumination at the same time. So windows and entryways create strong dark areas that can be filled with black. This technique can also give compositional balance to a sketch. Train your eye to assess the grayscale value of what you see in terms of light and shade, not color. Describe the space to yourself, right? So use image words like dark, light, long, tall, big, small, curvy, and straight. This particular skyline drawing, and it tells you that it's Manhattan skyline, looking from the top of Carrie's work at SVA, apparently. And it was done in several sessions, it looks like. So he spent several days working on this one sketch. But you can see the very strong contrast of light and dark, black and white, texture. So you can see that he used different types of line in order to create different textures in the drawing. And it's very stark. So it's very black and white. There's not a lot of tonal change except for in those beautiful lines and cross hatching and hatching that he's used. You can see that the entryways and the windows are all dark. So simplify your areas from to black and white, okay? Then we have grayscale. So sketching in grayscale is a good exercise to understand tonal differences. So you forget about color and pinpoint the darkest and lightest spots in the scene first. A common mistake can be maybe to think the sky is the lightest part. Sometimes the sky is the darkest part, especially if you're sketching something at night. Create a full range of grayscale with values with pencil, watercolor, washes of ink, or even pen through cross hatching. So you can see this quick sketch in this picture here. You have a lot of cross hatching of scribbly lines. You have some ink wash, and you have various straight line textures, that kind of thing, to exemplify the trees. And then you have simplification of elements like the lamps. So these are great ways to use grayscale to give you depth and create atmosphere. So work in pencil to get a better sense of grayscale values. Limiting your tool set to just one pencil can force you to evaluate the tonal relationships between things. So you ask yourself those questions. What part of things are darker and lighter? Where is the light? Where's the darkness? So tonal value. The variety of outdoor color and light is easier to process when you squint your eyes. So detail and sharp edges disappear, and you can see just the tonal relationships between elements better. Ask yourself questions about the elements in the scene in relation to other elements. Is the road darker than the sidewalk? Are the windows darker or lighter than the siding of the house? So if you have a reflection off a window, it might actually be lighter, not darker. Pay close attention to the value relationship between shaded and lit areas. While you're drawing, squint at your drawing as well as your scene and compare the values you see when you squint at the scene and when you're drawing the scene. Make sure you're matching those values correctly. So your sketch should have the same tonal value when you squint at it as when you're squinting at the scene. This drawing is really nice. You can see that it's really just a sketch of light and value and tone. Then there's color enhancement. Ink and watercolor are the most popular color enhancements for sketchers. If you don't have time to add color on location, do it later. But it's important that your sketch is able to stand on its own. So without the color there, you can still understand the architecture of that house. You can of that structure. The application of color should only enhance the sketch and not be relied upon to improve a poorly composed drawing. So, your assignment is to do 3 different sketches. I want you to draw an architectural detail in high contrast. So an architectural detail would be maybe like a cornice in a corner of your house. You can find like the pillars outside of a Capitol building. Those architectural details, you can get really high contrast when looking at them in like on a sunny day. Draw only the shadows in black and sketch the outline of the darkest dark or shadowed areas in the architectural detail. And then color the shadows in black. The light areas should be set off by the black areas, and you shouldn't really have to make an outline of them. The structure itself should be supported by those black shadowed areas. Make sure to include like an outline just to highlight where that light areas like differentiate, just to differentiate the subject from the background. Draw a monument or statue using tonal value. So get out like your pen and ink or black and white ink, paint, watercolor paint, and draw a monument just using the tonal value. 1 pencil. Use only 1 pencil or pen of your choice to draw the subject. Use tonal value techniques like smudging, scumbling, cross-hatching, and stippling to create that varied tonal value in your sketch. Then the third one is to draw a storefront. So like the front of any store. Using contrast, grayscale, and tonal value in your sketch. Focus on the light and the dark. After your sketch is complete, I want you to enhance it by adding the watercolor and the colored ink. But remember that your drawing should be able to stand on its own without that color enhancement. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining us. You can contact me, Sarah Taylor Glazer at norfolk.gov to sign up for the live virtual class. We do sketch practice during the live virtual class where you can try out all of these things on your own, or you can contact me if you have questions. Visit www.sloverlibrary.com for more awesome programs like this, and view this lesson and others on Facebook at Slover Library Kung Fu Art or at www.sloverlibrary.com under the Learn tab. Thanks so much. You guys have a great day.